The courtroom was way quieter than Meri thought. Not silent, but heavy, like it was pushing down on you, making every breath loud. She's at the table, hands squeezed together, so hard her knuckles are white. She's staring at the judge. Can't look at Kody, can't look at Robyn. If she does, she's going to fall apart before she's ready. The judge clears his throat and starts the case. He sounds normal, like he's done this a million times, but you can tell he's paying attention. He's dealt with messy family stuff before. But this feels different. Years of stress, religion, money problems, and things no one ever said out loud are all piled up in here. When they call Meri's name, she stands up slow. The chair makes a noise on the floor, way too loud. She walks to the stand, taking her time. This isn't a snap decision. She's been thinking about this forever, but it still feels unreal. She promises to tell the truth, and sits down. Her voice is steady when she says her name, almost calm. That freaks Kody out. He's sitting up straight at the table, arms crossed, jaw tight, staring over Meri's head. Robyn's next to him, hands in her lap, already tearing up. Christine and Janelle are a few rows back, watching quietly. They look stressed, but also like they understand. Meri's lawyer starts simple. How long has she known Kody? Meri tells the truth, says it's been most of her life. She talks about their religion, being committed, believing in something bigger. She's careful, not trying to be dramatic, but it still hits hard. She's not just being bitter. She remembers things. She talks about her role in the family, being the first wife, the legal wife, the one who helped get everything started. She isn't exaggerating. She just says how it was. Then the questions change. They ask about the divorce. The room gets tense. Even the judge leans in. Meri stops, takes a breath, and says how they told her it was temporary, needed, selfless. They said it wouldn't change anything. Said love didn't need papers. She bought it. Her voice shakes a little, but she keeps going. She tells how things started changing, little by little, so she doubted herself, but still happening. Plans were made without her. Decisions were done before she knew. Questions were brushed off instead of answered. And right there, without anyone yelling, everyone sees that this isn't about one mistake. It's about slowly disappearing. Kody moves in his seat. Robyn grabs a tissue. Meri says how she'd sit alone at home, being told she needed space, that things would get back to normal. She says feeling alone isn't always about being pushed away. Sometimes it's about being ignored. Her lawyer asks when she first wondered if it was on purpose. Meri doesn't answer right away. Looks at her hands, then looks at Kody. The day I realized my feelings were a problem, she says softly. The room starts buzzing. The judge tells everyone to be quiet. Meri talks about a private talk with Kody, one that wasn't filmed or told to anyone. She says she told him she felt invisible, like she was replaced, like she was a problem instead of a partner. She says he didn't say she was wrong. He explained it. He told her he had to be in charge, that too many opinions made things messy, that some wives were better at making decisions, that love wasn't always equal and you couldn't expect it to be. Kody's lawyer objects, says she's just guessing. The judge says she can keep going. Meri's voice is steady as she says the words she heard. It's not a showy moment. It just feels raw. Because everyone gets it. Betrayal isn't always mean. Sometimes it's just making excuses. The other lawyer starts questioning her, asks if she's angry, if she's hurt, if she's just being bitter. Meri answers straight. Yeah, she's hurt. No, this isn't about getting back at them. She's not here to punish anyone. She's here to stop thinking she's crazy. They ask about proof, papers, texts, records. She says they exist, that she brought them, that they tell a story that just talking can't. The judge writes something down. Robyn's breathing loud now. She's staring, lips tight, eyes shiny, but focused. She didn't think the story was like this. Meri's asked how it made her feel. She answers softer, talks about not trusting herself, about praying to know what to do and only getting silence, about thinking she was bad at something she wasn't even part of. Christine moves in her seat. Janelle closes her eyes, then opens them, jaw tight. Meri ends by saying something, looking at the whole room, not just the judge. For years, I thought love meant sticking it out, she says. Now I see it should have meant being real, and that changes everything, because sticking it out doesn't sound so great now. It sounds like being used. The judge thanks Meri and tells her she can go. As she walks back, her legs feel shaky, but she feels better. She doesn't look back. There's a pause before the judge speaks. He says he wants to see the documents. The clerk comes to get them. Kody's lawyer leans over, talking fast. Kody nods. But he doesn't look so sure anymore. He's not so confident. He's just trying to figure things out. Robyn finally looks at Meri. They look at each other. It's not anger. It's more like fear. The judge says they're taking a break before the next person talks. Everyone gets up, but the stress is still there, because everyone knows this has gone too far. And as they leave, one thing is on everyone's mind. If Meri told this much, how much more is coming? What do you think? Did Meri already say the worst, or is there more to come? Tell me what you think. The next part is going to be wild. After the courtroom doors shut post-break, you could feel the tension. It was like something was about to break. Meri just sat there, eyes straight ahead, her part done for now. What she said had changed things, but the real stress was about to happen. Robyn, the name was called. She froze for a sec before getting up, like her body needed a nudge. The chair screeched, and she grabbed the table to steady herself. Her face was all soft and wounded, trying to look real. She didn't glance at Meri once. Instead, she looked at Kody, kinda hoping for instructions. He nodded a bit, but didn't look back for long. Robyn went to the stand and swore to tell the truth. Her voice was quiet, shaking a bit. She held her hands in her lap, fingers so tight, her knuckles turned white. Her lawyer started with easy questions, like joining the family, what she meant, and what plural marriage was to her. She spoke softly, like she went over it a bunch. She said she wanted everyone together, to feel safe and love her kids, and never wanted to hurt anyone. She paused a lot, holding back tears. It was a show the audience had seen before, acting soft but holding back. And it worked on some people. You could feel the room leaning toward her. Then things changed. Meri's lawyer stood up, cool and calm. No yelling, just precise. She asked Robyn about dates, the exact ones. Robyn hesitated. Claimed she didn't remember when things happened. It was too crazy back then, too much stress. She was just focused on her kids. Then they put a document on the screen. Robyn's signature was there, clear as day. The judge leaned in, pen in the air. Robyn blinked faster. Her breathing was shallow. She said Kody did most of the paperwork. She trusted him and didn't get it all. Right then, the courtroom noticed something. Robyn remembered how she felt fine, but only remembered facts when it helped her. They asked if she got something out of it. Robyn slowly agreed, but said it wasn't on purpose. She didn't ask for more. It just worked out. Christine shifted, couldn't hide what she thought. Janelle crossed her arms, face hard to read. The lawyer showed text messages, not crazy stuff. Just messages where Robyn worried about Meri's feelings, saying Meri shouldn't be in some talks for her own good. Sounded nice, but really kept her out. Robyn's voice broke as she said she was just trying to help, to keep Meri from stress. The judge asked one simple question. Did you think Meri couldn't be an equal? Robyn opened her mouth, then closed it. Her eyes went to Kody for a sec. No, she said. But you could feel the doubt, louder than her answer. The courtroom heard what Robyn didn't say. When Robyn got off the stand, she seemed smaller. Her confidence was gone. She went back to her seat and whispered to Kody. He listened, nodded, but didn't comfort her. He was looking at the judge, the proof, feeling trapped. Then it was Kody's turn. He stood up like he owned the place, shoulders back, jaw set. He knew this, explaining, spinning things, leading. He swore in and sat, talking like he was in charge. He talked about leading, being responsible, and how plural marriage needs structure. Not everyone can be in on every choice. Too many people make things a mess, and feelings mess with logic. He said he didn't pick favorites, just did what he had to. The lawyer listened, then showed a timeline. Easy to see, clear as day. Dates, choices, transfers. It all looked planned. Kody's confidence dropped. He tried to explain, but the more he talked, the more messed up his answers got. He said one thing, then another. He changed what words meant. The judge stopped him. Just answer the question. Kody swallowed. His hands gripped the stand. They asked if he ever kept Meri from decisions on purpose. No, he said fast. But the proof was still there, and just like that, Kody wasn't leading anymore. He was panicking. Then something crazy happened. The judge brought up a sealed thing from earlier, something they put off until now. He wanted it right away. A clerk walked up with a big envelope. It echoed when it hit the bench. Kody's face turned white. Not mad, scared. Robyn started shaking. She grabbed the armrest, eyes locked on the envelope like it would blow up. Meri sat up, confused. Even she didn't know about this yet. Christine leaned in. Janelle's mouth dropped open. The judge slowly ripped open the envelope. Whatever was inside wasn't supposed to come out yet. As he started to look at it, his face changed. He brought his eyebrows together, posture stiffened. He looked up. The room was silent. Everyone knew what this meant. Emotions got them here, but this could change everything. As the judge got ready to talk, you realized something scary. Someone in this family didn't just lie, they planned it. Before we go any further, what do you think? Is this evidence going to hurt Kody more? Or will it show what Robyn did next? Tell me in the comments, because session 3 is going to be brutal. A judge took his time, rereading the document in front of him. The courtroom was so quiet, you could hear a pin drop. Kody's knee bounced nervously under the table, and Robyn stared straight ahead, like any movement would be the end of her. He finally looked up. This document, he said carefully, makes me wonder about what people really meant to do. The words hung there. He said, plainly, that the paper wasn't just a record, it was a timeline. It showed chats and approvals that suggested some stuff was decided way early, way before Meri was told it was needed, or just for a bit. The judge wasn't pointing fingers yet, but he didn't have to. It was obvious. Meri felt something weird in her chest. Not totally happy, not winning, but more like she wasn't crazy. For years she wondered if she was making things up, being too sensitive or too damaged. Now, some guy in a robe was saying something was fishy. Kody's lawyer jumped up and asked to talk to the judge privately. They huddled up front, whispering, while the courtroom buzzed. Christine leaned to Janelle and whispered, "This is worse than I thought." Janelle nodded, eyes glued on Kody. When the judge came back, he said they needed more questions answered. ASAP. Robyn's name was called again. She jumped. This time, nobody was nice to her. She didn't act cool. She walked slowly, like she was going to fall. She sat down, grabbing the chair like it was going to save her. The judge asked if she knew about the plans in the paper. Robyn swallowed. She said she didn't remember. Things were mixed up, and Kody did most of it. The judge asked if she got anything good out of it. Yes, she whispered, and just like that, the room went from confused to suspicious. The questions got tougher. They showed Robyn messages and approvals, times when she wasn't just told about stuff, but helped make it happen. She wasn't just being nice or going along with it. She was part of it. She started talking louder, defending herself. She said she trusted Kody, did what he said, and never wanted to hurt Meri. But you knew what would happen, the judge said calmly. Robyn hesitated. Yes, she admitted. Kody cut in, standing up and yelling about the questions. The judge shut him down right away. He was in charge, and for the first time, Kody looked small and scared. Robyn started crying for real. She talked about being scared, wanting to feel safe, and thinking the family would fall apart if she didn't step up. She acted like she was forced into something she didn't want, but it wasn't working anymore. Christine watched, head tilted, eyes sharp. Janelle's face hardened. It wasn't being honest. It was making excuses. The judge let Robyn go, face blank. Then he turned to Meri. Meri Brown, he said, did you ever say it was okay for them to leave you out of these decisions? Meri stood up. She answered right away. No. Her voice was steady. She explained that they just thought she'd be okay with it. They acted like if she was quiet, she agreed. If she asked questions, she was being difficult. She said she stopped talking because it didn't matter anyway. The courtroom was dead silent. The judge nodded. Then, something nobody saw coming. He asked if there was any more proof about the document, anything they hadn't shown yet. Meri's lawyer stood up. Yes, she said. Another envelope came out. Kody shook his head, whispering to his lawyer. Robyn breathed hard. Christine's eyes got big. Janelle leaned forward. The judge opened the envelope. It was a trail of chats, messages from a really important time. They talked about handling reactions and when to tell them. It didn't sound like a family. It sounded like planning. The judge read quietly. Then he looked right at Kody. Were you going to tell Meri about these decisions before they were final? Kody opened his mouth. Nothing. He tried again. Said yes, eventually. Said he was waiting for the right time. The judge asked, who said when the right time was? Kody hesitated. Robyn and I, he said. The room went nuts. Robyn gasped, shaking her head. That's not, she started, but stopped when the judge held up his hand. With that one sentence, it wasn't just a vague problem. They were both to blame. Christine blew out of breath. Janelle's eyes were wet, but her face stayed strong. Years of suspecting something had just been said out loud. The judge called another break. But this time, nobody relaxed. In the hall, things blew up. Kody stomped around, arguing with his lawyer. Robyn sat on a bench, crying into her hands. Meri stood by herself, leaning on the wall, heart pounding. Not scared, but almost free. Christine came up to her. You weren't crazy, she said softly. Meri nodded, finally crying. Janelle joined them. None of us were. Back in the courtroom, the judge came back with news. Not a final call, but a direction. He said the case was getting bigger. What started as a family fight now had legal worries about lying and forcing someone. Kody got stiff. Robyn looked up quick. Meri closed her eyes. This was the moment they knew. It wasn't just about what happened before. It was about what would happen now. The judge set the next court date and warned everyone they'd need to answer more questions, and he'd be watching them close. As it ended, Kody stared ahead, his cool image gone. Robyn looked lost, like she'd been caught doing something bad. Meri walked out tall, not happy, but like she'd finally been heard. And just before the door shut, the judge said one last thing that made everyone freeze. Going forward, I want the whole truth. No more half-truths. The words hung in the air all alone. The courtroom felt cramped when everyone came back, like the walls had shrunk. The judge sat down, looking tired, like he knew this case would be a mess. What started as drama from a broken marriage had turned into something way darker. Kody sat up straight, but it wasn't confidence. It was defense. His eyes darted around, sizing everyone up. Robyn looked beat, pale and puffy-eyed, like the last session hit her hard. Meri sat still, calm in a way she hadn't been in ages. Something in her had changed. The judge started by talking to Kody. "Mr. Brown," he said, "yesterday brought up issues about decisions and leaving people out. I want clear answers today." Kody nodded, nervous. He had to explain how big decisions were made after the divorce. At first, he talked about leading the family, structure, and taking charge. He mentioned pressure, dealing with strong personalities, and doing what he thought was right. The judge cut him off. "That's not what I asked," he said. "I asked who decided." That hit hard. Kody paused. Then he said that as time passed, fewer people were involved in decisions. He relied on Robyn more because she agreed with him. Christine sighed loudly. Janelle tensed up. The judge asked if Meri was deliberately left out. Kody took his time answering. "I wouldn't say on purpose," he said. "I didn't see why I should involve someone who was always unhappy." It was like a slap in the face. Meri gasped, but didn't react. She'd heard this before, and her pain reframed as her fault. Then everyone in the room understood something, that her unhappiness wasn't a reason for exclusion. It was an excuse. The judge looked annoyed. He asked Kody if unhappiness means someone can't be involved. Kody didn't answer right away. Robyn shook her head, telling him to stop. Too late. Then the judge turned to Robyn. "Mrs. Brown," he said, "I need to know what your role was." Robyn stood up slowly. Her voice was shaky. She said she didn't want power or to be better than anyone. She was just trying to hold things together when everything was falling apart. The judge asked about the messages, about managing reactions, and when to tell people things. Robyn teared up. She said she was scared. Scared Meri would leave. Scared the family would split up. Scared everything would fall apart. "So you controlled the information," the judge said. Robyn nodded. "Yes, it was quiet, but it said a lot. Being scared isn't an excuse." Christine lost it and spoke up, mad after all these years. "That's not protecting us," she said. "That's manipulating us." The judge let her talk. Janelle spoke next, calmer, but just as serious. "We were told we were equal, but you can't be equal in secret." Robyn broke down, crying and sorry. She didn't realize how bad things had become, and thought keeping quiet would help. The judge listened, but he didn't look sympathetic. He turned to Meri. "Meri Brown," he said, "how did this affect you?" Meri stood up slowly. Her voice was soft, but strong. "It made me doubt myself," she said. "I thought I was the problem, when I was just being left out." She talked about questioning herself, apologizing for things she didn't do, and becoming smaller to cope. She wasn't being dramatic. She was being real. That made it even sadder. The courtroom was silent. Then the judge asked something unexpected. Did anyone try to make you stay quiet? Meri paused, then nodded. Yes. Kody looked up, surprised. Meri explained that she was told to keep family stuff private, that talking would hurt the kids, and that being honest was selfish. Staying silent was being loyal. The story fell apart there, because silence wasn't about peace, it was about control. Kody tried to argue, but the judge stopped him. This court will hear everything, he said. The judge said what he heard sounded like pressuring others. Not a crime, but still bad. Family problems don't get a free pass just because they're tricky. Kody slumped, caught. Robyn looked empty. Christine wiped her eyes, angry. Janelle stared straight ahead, tense. Then something surprising happened. The judge wanted to hear from a counselor who had worked with the family. People gasped. Kody tensed up. Robyn whispered to her lawyer. Meri's heart raced. The counselor told the court about past issues like imbalance, emotional stress, and one person calling all the shots. The judge listened closely. This wasn't just an opinion. It was on record. Now, the court knew the family's secret. The judge wrapped up the session and made it clear that things were serious. He didn't make any decisions that day, but there would be consequences. Honesty was now a must. He set the date for the last session. People stood up, shaken. Kody looked scared in a way the cameras had never shown. Robyn looked broken. Christine and Janelle stood together, quiet but determined. Meri stayed seated for a moment, taking a deep breath. She knew what was coming next would show who the betrayer was, and force someone to admit why it all happened. The session starts super quiet. No nervous chatter like before. Everyone in the room gets that this is it. The end of the case, but also the end of the story this family's been telling themselves. The judge comes in, sits down, and looks right at Kody, Robyn, and Meri, like he's comparing them before saying a word. This court's ready to finish up, the judge says calmly. But before I do, I'll allow final words. That's when Robyn gets up. Nobody expected it. Not her lawyer, not Kody, not even Meri. Robyn's chair makes a loud screech as she stands, her hands shaking, not trying to hide it. She's pale, her eyes are red, and for once in this case, she doesn't look like she is trying to look good. She looks like someone who's got nowhere left to hide. I need to say something, she says, her voice cracking. Kody turns to her, surprised. Robyn. The judge stops him. She can speak. Robyn walks forward slowly, not to the stand, but to the middle of the room. She looks at the floor, like the real deal is there. I told myself I was protecting the family, she starts. I thought if I didn't do something, everything would fall apart. Her voice shakes as she talks, admitting she told Kody to hold off on hard talks, to soften the truth, to think about timing. She says she thought Meri was too sensitive, that the full truth would break her. Then she stops. She swallows. And somewhere, she says quietly, I stopped thinking about what was fair. Kody shakes his head. That's not. The judge shuts him up fast. And then everyone gets something big. Robyn isn't just saying she was mean. She's saying she was trying to control things. Robyn looks at Meri. I didn't think you could handle the real deal, she says, crying. So I decided for you. That hits hard. Meri's breath catches. Her eyes fill, not with shock, but with knowing. This explains everything she felt, but couldn't prove. Robyn keeps talking, her voice cracking. She says things were good for her, with things out of sync. Being stable was nice. Being picked felt secure. She says it wasn't favoritism if it kept the family going. But it wasn't. Kody, she whispers. It was shutting people up. Kody gets up fast. This isn't right, he says. You're twisting things. The judge stops him fast. "Sit down, Mr. Brown." Kody does, but he's lost his authority. He shrinks. His face tightens. He looks like a man watching his story get away from him. The judge turns to him. "You heard what was said," he says. "Do you disagree?" Opens his mouth, closes it. He looks at Robyn, then at Meri, then at the judge. "I made choices," he says. "I thought I was leading." The judge leans in. Leading without their okay isn't leading. Kody sighs, giving up. "I didn't want problems," he says, "and Meri always asked questions." Meri winces. "So you weren't real," the judge says. "Yes," Kody whispers. And just like that, the truth shows up, not with drama, but with giving up. Christine takes a shaky breath from the seats. Janelle closes her eyes, nodding, like something bad finally makes sense. The judge talks to Meri. "Meri Brown," he says, "this court sees a pattern of leaving you out and pushing you around. It wasn't illegal, but it hurt." He waits. "You couldn't make your own choices." Meri cries, not because she's broken, but because she finally feels seen. Years of doubt fall away when someone who doesn't know her pain says what happened was real. The judge goes on, laying out what will happen. Legal stuff, money stuff, saying what was done wrong. It's fair, controlled, final. But how it really ends isn't legal, it's feeling. Robyn sits back, crying quietly. Kody stares ahead, not seeing anything, stripped of his story and control. Christine grabs Janelle's hand. They squeeze, no words needed. Meri gets up when the judge finishes. She's not in a hurry. She doesn't look back. As she walks out, Robyn calls her name softly. "Meri." Meri stops, turns. "I'm sorry," Robyn whispers. Meri looks at her for a while. "I believe you," she says gently. "But that doesn't mean going back." Then she leaves. And that last talk finishes the story. Not with forgiving, but with being free. Outside,